Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. All, I hope all of you are good and doing well at home. So students, as you know that your midterm are going to be started soon. So that's why we are going to review the topics that are coming in your midterms. So today we are going to review theorem number 1 and theorem number 3 from chapter number 12, Demonstrative Geometry. This is your overall lecture number 33 and I am your math teacher, Miss Falak Naz. So before starting the theorem number 1, let's quickly go through or let's quickly review the definitions that are important regarding theorem number 1. So first of all, you should know what are congruent angles. So congruent angles are two or more angles that have the same measure. Okay, they are two or more angles that have the same measure. As you can see here, this is your angle G that is equals to 42 degree, and this is your angle S which is also equals to 42 degree. So as you can see here, these are two different angles, but the measurement of angle G and the measurement of angle S is same. So you will say that these angles are congruent angles. Regarding congruent angles, you should keep in your mind is that they do not have to point in the same directions. Means as you can see here, the direction of this one is towards right side and it is directly towards the bottom side. So they do not have to point in the same directions. Also, you should keep it in mind is that they do not have to be on similar sized lines. So the angles that are same in measurements, so you will see that the given angles are congruent angles. Next is the transitive property of equality. Now, what is the transitive property of equality? If A is equals to B and B is equals to C, then this A will be equals to C. Okay, I'm repeating again. According to the transitive property, if A is equals to B and then your B is equals to C, so you will see that the A is also equals to C. Understand? So as you can see here, this is the line segment which is divided into three segments. This is segment number 1, which is WX, then segment number 2, XY, and then segment number 3, YZ. So as you can see here, this Wx, okay, this Wx is equals to xy. Also, this yz is also equals to this yz. Okay, so what you will say that this one, okay, this portion and this one means Wx is also equals to yz. Okay, so this is the transitive property of equality. Now, the next one is the supplementary angles. Now, what are supplementary angles? If the sum of the measures of two angles is 180 degree, okay? If you have any two angles whose sum is equals to 180 degree, they are called supplementary angles. Each one of them is called supplement of the other. Now, let's consider this figure. Here you can see that there are two angles. This is angle number 1 that is equals to 110, and this is angle number 2 which is equals to 70 degree. Okay, so angle 1 and angle 2 both are the sum of both the angles is must be equals to 180 degree. So you will say that these are adjacent supplementary angles. Why adjacent? Because they are sharing the common arm and the common vertex. So you will say that these two angles are supplementary, and you will say that the supplement of 110 is 70 and the supplement of 70 is 110. Now let's start theorem number 1. So what is theorem? Theorem is basically a mathematical statement, okay, in which you have given something and you have to prove that one. Just suppose the theorem number 1 is if two lines intersect, okay, if two lines intersect, the vertically opposite angles so formed are congruent. Basically, this is your statement. This is a mathematical statement, and you will see that this is your theorem. Okay, now what this statement says, it says if you have any two lines and they will intersect, okay, if the two lines intersect, so the vertically angles will form and those angles are congruent. Okay, now this is the thing which is given to you. Now this basically this one, this and this one. Okay, so this is the thing which is the conclusion of the given thing. Means what they are giving you, they are giving you two lines, okay, and they are concluded that after intersection vertical angles that will be formed, they are congruent. Okay, this is their conclusion. So what you have to do, you have to prove this conclusion, means you have to prove that the vertically opposite angles are formed after the intersection of two lines will be congruent. Okay, so you have to prove this second statement. So for this you should know the figure. So this is the figure. Just suppose this is your line A and line B, okay, and this line A and B is intersecting with the another line, that is line P and line Q, okay, and the intersection point is this O. Understand? So these two lines are intersecting at the point O. Now this is the thing which is given to you. Okay, this is the thing which is given to you. Now what you have to prove, you have to prove is that after intersection the vertical angles will be formed. So these are the vertical angles, one pair of vertical angle. So this pair of vertical angle must be equal. Okay, so you have to prove this thing. Okay, this pair is equal. Similarly, another pair of vertical angle is this one, this and this one, and you have to prove that this one is also equal. Understand? So what is given to you? Two lines AB, this is the line AB and the line PQ, and they are intersecting at point O. This is a thing which is given to you. And now what you have to prove? You have to prove basically this thing. Okay, look at here, this thing you have to prove. This thing, what you have to prove? You have to prove POQ. Okay, this POB, sorry, measurement of angle POB is equals to AOQ, and angle AOP is equals to BOQ. Now what you should know, what are these angles? This one. Okay, as you can see, this is angle POB. Okay, and this will be equals to this one, angle AOQ. Similarly, AOP, which one is AOP? This one, AOP, and next one is BOQ. So you have to prove this, the vertical pairs are congruent. So for this you will write down the statements and you will provide a specific reason to that statement. Okay, so please keep it in your mind that you have to memorize all this thing as a test. Please do not change anything. Theorem is the thing that you have to learn it. Okay, so now what is your statement number one? The measurement of angle POB. Now, which is POB? This one. This POB. Okay. Just suppose this is angle 1. Okay. The measurement of angle POB plus when you are going to add this one to the another angle which is AOP, which will be your angle number 2. So if you will add these two angles, the sum should be equals to 180 degree. Okay. Now you have to provide the reason. So what will be the reason for this? The non-common arms. Non-common arms are OA. Now which is OA? This one. This is OA, and OB is this one, OB. Okay, as you can see here, these are the two non-common arms of this adjacent angles, and these are collinear. Why collinear arms or why collinear rays? Because they are lying on one line, and after forming a line, the type of angle which they are forming is basically supplementary, means together they will forming the angle of 180 degree. So you will say that this is your supplement postulate. Okay, this is your supplement postulate. So the first statement is the measurement of angle POB plus measurement of angle AOB, it will be equals to 180 degree. Clear? Now move on to the second statement. Now what is your second statement? This one. Measurement of angle AOP. Now which is an angle AOP? This one. Okay, this is AOP plus, means you are going to add it again. Which one angle you are going to add it again? AOQ. So now this was your angle number 2 and now this will be your angle number 3. Now, when you are going to add these two angles again, so you will get the sum 180 degree, and again you will use the same reasons, but you will use the different arms. Now, what are the non-common arms? OP. Okay. Now, this is OP and OQ. This is OQ. So, what you will say that these are the non-common arms, and these two non-common arms are basically collinears. Basically, they are collinear. So this is your supplement postulate means the measurement of angle 2 and the measurement of angle 3. When you will going to add these two angles, your sum should be equals to 180 degree. This is the supplement postulate. Understand? Now move on to the next one. Now look at here. Measurement of angle POB. Now which is POB? Now which is POB? 1 minute. Just give me a 1 minute. Now look at here. Now look at statement number 3. POB, okay, this POB, this one, this is statement. I'm going to copy down the statement number 1 again. Measurement of angle POB plus measurement of angle AOQ. As you can see that the sum of the two angles are equal. Just suppose here the sum is 180 degree and the sum is 180 degree here. So you will see that the measurement of these two angles and the measurement of these two angles are basically equal. So simply what you will do in the third postulate, you will write down the first statement and then you will write down the second statement and then you will say that this is equal. And now what the reason you are going to provide it here, you will provide that transitive property of equality. Okay, now what does this transitive property of equality tells you? That two quantities are equal to same quantity, that is 180 degree. This is your quantity number 1 and this is your quantity number 2. So this is equals to 180 degree. Both of them are equal to 180 degrees. So you will say that these two angles are same. Now, as you can see here in this statement, this AOP. Okay, now let's consider this AOP. Okay, this AOP and AOP. This is the left side of the equation and this is the right side of the equation. Now, if you will move this one towards this side, so it will get subtracted. So what you will do, you will simply cancel them together. So what will be left here? This POB. Okay, on the left side, you will left POB and on the right side, you will have AOQ. So you will say that measurement of angle POB is equals to measurement of angle AOQ. Now what this AOP goes? Basically after cancelling measurement of angle AOP from both sides. So what will be left here? Measurement angle POB is equals to measurement angle OQ. Now I'm repeating again what you have to prove. Now look at here. What you have to prove? You have to prove this thing. Okay, and you have to prove this thing, that POB is equals to AOQ. So according after cancellation, as you see here, what you will get, this POB and AOQ. So you will say that this, you will simply say that what? Now what you will simply say that? Simply so you will say that measurement of angle POB. Now which is your angle POB? This is angle POB. It is congruent. Okay, this is a symbol of congruent. It is congruent to AOQ. Why? If two angles are equal in measure, they are congruent. What you have learned about congruent angles, if the measurement of the two angles are same, so you will say that they are congruent. Similarly, you will also prove that this by the same process. Okay, by repeating the same process, you can also prove that what? The second thing what you have to prove is this one. AOP and what you have to prove this one, AOP and BOQ. So what you will prove with the help of the previous steps, you will also prove that this AOP will also equals to BOQ, okay, by the above process. So basically this is the way to prove it. Okay, so this is the steps of proving for the given statements. I hope it is clear to all of you. Now move on to the next one. Theorem number 3. Okay, again from chapter demonstrative geometry. Now what is theorem number 3? If a transversal intersects two coplanar lines such that the pair of alternate angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So first of all, you have to decide which one is given to you and what you have to prove it. Now the thing which is given to you is this one. if a transversal, okay, if you have any transversal and it will intersect any two coplanar lines. Now what are coplanar lines? Just suppose this is a plane, okay, and on this plane you have two lines. This is line and one line, and this is another line, okay, so they lie on same plane, okay, so you will say that coplanar lines. So they are saying that if the transversal intersect these two coplanar lines, so after that the pair of alternate angles will be formed, and the pair of alternate angles must be congruent. This is the thing which is given to you. So, okay, now what you have to do, they are saying that if this thing happen, then lines are parallel, means this lines will not intersect each other at any point. Now consider this one. This is your figure number 1. Here you have line A, B, okay, and another line is C, D. Okay, these are two parallel lines and it is intersecting with the transversal, and which is your transversal? This is E and F. Okay, this is the transversal. After intersecting with the help of transversal, alternate angles will be formed. Now what you have to do, you have to decide which will be alternate angles. Basically alternate angles are those which are interior, okay, lie inside the parallel lines. They do not have the common vertex, okay, the vertex of angle this one is this and the vertex of angle 2 is this one. Also they will lie opposite side of the transversal. One is this side, so towards on the opposite side of the transversal. So you will say that these angles are alternate angle. Similarly this angle, okay, this angle and this angle, so this will be also alternate angle. So what are alternate angles? Interior angles. First of all, they are interior and they will lie on the opposite side of the transversal. Okay, now these are the thing which is given to you. Now after that they will say that the lines are parallel. Lines are parallel means this line AB and CD, okay, these lines are parallel. Okay, this is the thing that you have to prove, that after intersecting vertical angle alternate angles will be formed, and that means the lines will be parallel. So you have to prove that the given lines AB and CD are parallel. So obviously you have to prove this thing. For this we are going to assume one thing, okay, we are going to make our assumption here. And now what is our assumption? Our assumption is that if AB is not parallel to CD, okay, we will assume that if AB is not parallel to CD. Now for this what you will do, you will extend this line CD, okay, you will extend this line CD and AB towards this side. So if they are not parallel, so obviously they will meet at one point, so that point is R. Okay, if the given lines are not parallel, so obviously they will meet at any one point, and that point will be R. Okay, now I'm going to make another diagram with the help of this one. Just suppose I'm going to extend this line, okay, extend this line and then joining the line with this one. Just suppose, okay, I'm going to extend it. So after extension, as you can see here, this will form our triangle, means this is line CD and this CD is extended towards the point R, and then another line is also extended, okay, and this R will intersect at point P. Okay, after that what you will get, you will get angle 1 which is exterior and angle 2 interior. So in figure number 2 you have assumed that the angle, sorry, the line CD, okay, and line AB are not parallel. So if they are not parallel, so it means they are going to intersect at point R. Okay, now after that you will get this type of figure, okay, if the lines do not intersect, and this is your transversal. Now first of all you should know what is given to you. Now the given thing is AB, okay, line AB and line CD are two coplanar lines and transversal EF. Now which one is this? Is line AB and line CD, okay, they are two coplanar lines and transversal EF. This is your transversal EF, okay, they cut dams at points P and Q, okay, this is the point P and this is point Q, such that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. Now this is angle 1 and is angle 2. Okay, pair of alternate angles. So the given thing is that if two lines intersect, okay, if two lines intersect, sorry, if two parallel lines intersect with the help of a transversal, so the vertically, sorry, alternate angles will be formed, and those alternate angles are congruent. So you have to prove it. Now what you have to prove it? You have to prove basically after that the lines A and B, means if angle 1 is equals to angle 2, so it means that it means that line AB is parallel to line CD. Okay, this AB is parallel to line CD. Now what do you have to prove? You have to prove this statement. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to assume it, if A and B are any two coplanar lines and they will intersect. Okay, they are not parallel lines. We are assuming that A and B are not parallel lines and they are going to meet at point R. Okay, then triangle PQR will be formed just like figure number 2. So we have to prove this thing. Means we are going to prove it that just suppose the lines are not parallel. Now, for this, the first statement is in triangle PQR. Now, look at figure number 2. Okay, this is their conclusion. Okay, this is their conclusion according to the theorem that the lines are parallel. And what we are assuming? We are assuming that lines are not parallel. Okay, so we will consider figure number 2. And in figure number 2, as you can see here, this is your triangle PQR. Okay, this is your triangle P, Q, and R. And as you can see here that in triangle PQR, there are two angles. This is angle 1 and this is angle 2. So you will say that in triangle PQR, this is your exterior angle. Okay, angle 1 is exterior and angle 2 is interior, or they are opposite. Okay, on the opposite side of the transverse. Okay, so why we are writing that, why we are giving this statement? This is according to the definition of triangle. Okay, this is according to the triangle that these angles are, this is the exterior angle and this is the interior angle. Okay, next thing is this one. Therefore, if this is exterior and this is interior, so what you will say that by the definition, with the help of definition, you will say that measurement of angle 1, okay, measurement of angle 1 is greater than measurement of angle 2. Now as you can see clearly here, this is angle 1 and it will obviously greater than angle 2. Okay, this is by theorem number 2. We have learned in theorem number 2, if we have a triangle, in triangle, if there is one exterior and one interior, so obviously exterior angle is always greater than the interior angle. So here your exterior angle is 1, that's why exterior angle will be greater than interior angle, which is number 2. Okay, this is according to the theorem number 2. But you have given that the measurement of angle 1 is equals to measurement of angle 2. Okay, what is given in the statement that the alternate angles will be same, or alternate angles are congruent. So what are your alternate angles here is 1 and 2. The given thing is that angle 1 and angle 2 must be equal, and if you are assuming that they will meet at any one point, so it means that angle 1 must be greater than angle number 2. Okay, so obviously statements number 2 and 3 cannot be true simultaneously. Why? Because according to trichotomy property of order relation, trichotomy property of order relation, what this property tells you, if you have any two angles, okay, if you have any two angles, just suppose you have angle A and angle B, so at one point they must be equal or they must be greater or lesser. Okay, but you will not say that at the same time they are equal, they are greater, or they are lesser. Either they are equal or either they are greater or lesser. Okay, so statements number 2 and 3 cannot be true simultaneously, means you cannot say that angle 1 is greater than angle 2 and angle 1 is equals to angle 2. Okay, either angle 1 is greater than 2 or it will be equal. Okay, this is the trichotomy property of order relation. So now what you will say that hence measurement of angle 1 is equals to measurement angle 2 is true. Okay, so obviously you will say that measurement of angle 1 is equals to measurement of angle 2 and AB. Okay, now this line AB and CD do not intersect, means this was our assumption. Okay, this was our assumption that they will intersect at any one point, but when we are assuming that, so the statements are going wrong, means we are getting angle 1 which is greater than angle 2 and the given is angle 1 is equals to angle 2. So obviously our assumption is wrong because two things cannot be same simultaneously. So simply what you will say that AB is parallel to CD simply if the angles are equal. So simply you will say that the line AB is equals to line CD. Why? Because they are coplanar and do not intersect. Okay, if they are intersecting, so obviously one angle will be greater and one will be lesser. So, and if they will not intersect, the both the angles will be same. So what we will say that the two lines will never intersect at any one point. So simply we will say that if they do not intersect, so means the given lines are parallel. So simply we will say that AB is parallel to CD. Okay, I hope it is clear. So students, please keep it in your mind that you have to learn these theorems. These theorems are very important and you have to memorize all these theorems. Clear? I hope it is clear to all of you. So this is the question here which you have to solve. So what is the fill in the blanks? Two intersecting lines cannot be parallel. Okay, two intersecting lines cannot be parallel. Okay, number 2, if two lines intersect, the vertically opposite angles formed are always, if you have two lines intersect, so the angles which form vertically, they are always congruent. Okay, point number 3 is congruent angles are dash in measurement. Obviously, congruent angles are always equal or same in measurement. If the sum of two angles is 180 degree, if you have any two angles and their sum is 180 degree, then we will say the angles are supplementary. And the supplement of 130 is what? Can anyone tell me? The supplement of 130 is what? Obviously the answer will be 50 degree. So the supplement angle of 130 will be 50 degree. If two quantities are equal to same quantity, then property is said to be dash property of equality. So this is called transitive property of equality. Some more questions. Two lines lie on the same plane are called coplanar lines. If you have two lines, they will lie on same plane. You will say that these are coplanar lines. And two lines that never lines on the same plane, they are called non-coplanar lines. Okay. Number 9, dash lines never meet at any point. Dash lines. Which lines? Parallel lines. Parallel lines never intersect at any point. Okay. Alternate angles are congruent. True or false? True. Okay. Alternate angles are congruent. Okay. If A is equals to B, A is less than B or A is greater than B. This property is basically called trichotomy property. Okay. Now this is the end of the lecture. If you want to ask any questions, so please write it down in the comment section. And I would like to say thank you. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope the lecture is clear to all of you. I want to say one thing to all of you. Please memorize the theorems perfectly. Okay, the theorems are very important and this is a compulsory question. Okay, compulsory question. So once again, I would like to say thank you so much.